plan. Tell them that we born it. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we born it. I am proud to be a Belizean. Tell them that we born it. You're born it, you're born it. Tell them that we born it. You're born it, you're born it. I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we born it. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we born it. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we born it.
Good night, Belize. Good night, Belizeans living wherever in the world. This is Naval String Connection. My name is ARIA LIGHTFOOT, and we are on XTV. And we are the diaspora being tuned into, brought in to Belize, the audience through XTV. The producer of the show is Nouri Mohammed. And I have two guests tonight who are my partners in bringing the Belize Diaspora Summit to Belize. This is Belize Diaspora Summit 3.0. Our inaugural summit was in Los Angeles in 2024. Last year, we were in South Florida in 2025. And this year, we're doing a homecoming and coming home to Belize. And so tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about what's happening at the summit. And I have two guests. We have Rishma Eckert and we have Verlene Pitts. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Rishma.
Hi, good night, Belize. Good night, everyone. My name is Rishma Eckert. I'm a co-organizer of the Belize Diaspora Summit. I am a business law attorney currently residing in Florida, and I've spent many years before this with the Belize American Chamber of Commerce, going back and forth and having different events in Belize. And we're so excited for the homecoming this year.
Thanks, Rishma. Go ahead, Verlene.
Hi, Verlene Pitts, and also a co-organizer. Very excited about bringing this home to Belize. I am a project manager with Progressive, but of course, spend a lot of my time in trying to give back to Belize, working whenever possible with the two of you to just really stay connected to what's going on the ground in Belize. And that actually facilitates a lot of trips to Belize. And so with me being in Florida, it's not really hard to hop over. And so it's a welcome excuse and good reason to be able to go back home as much as possible.
I won't say I'm not jealous of you guys in Florida. I think Chicago hasn't figured out summer yet. So today we're still in the 60s and around
we're still in the hundreds. Feels
yeah.
like.
I'll take the hundreds though. I'm not kidding. I'm so tired of the winter and the whatever. All right, guys. So why the Belize Diaspora Summit? And Rishma, you could start off because we have been organizing with the Belize American Chamber before this. But could you just give a little bit of history about the Belize Diaspora Summit?
Sure. So both ARIA and I were on the board of the Belize American Chamber of Commerce. And through working with the chamber and with our executive director, Michael D. Young, we were doing 2 events a year. We were doing an investment forum and we were doing a trade mission. As we were doing these events, we realized that there's just so much that Belizeans lack in terms of connectivity, things like access to government clinics, even a discussion on just a general diaspora policy. So we had the idea of having the Belize Diaspora Summit as a way to bring Belizeans together to talk about issues affecting Belize and perhaps come up with certain policies that are going to be beneficial to Belizeans, and at the same time have government clinics, at the same time have a marketplace so Belizeans can sell to other Belizeans and just be a hub. The idea for the summit was that every year we would be the hub for Belizeans to come and meet and organize and network and just have that feeling of camaraderie, especially if you live in different places within the US, or even if you live in Canada or the UK, you can always have a place in the summit where you can come back and meet your Belizean people and feel that sense of community.
So could you like tell us a little bit what the first year was like and in Los Angeles?
Well, the first year I call it like a hope and a prayer because we had no idea what the outcome was going to be. We didn't know what the reception was going to be. Everyone seemed excited as we were putting it together, but boy, we were overwhelmed and surprised at the outcome. So we had it in Los Angeles and we had a 3-day summit like we're having this year as well. It's always 3 days. And what was the turnout like? I want to say thousands of people over the 3 days coming in and out for the clinics, and just it was just an overwhelming support. And it just made us even more enthusiastic about having the summit every year because we saw that we were fulfilling a need that wasn't yet being taken care of, and that we were fulfilling a need and a want from Belizeans all over to be able to unite.
And I do want to give a shout out to our supporters, partners. You have the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations who supported us from day one. You have Kopali Rum, you have Sabre Realty. Those people and businesses and government have supported us from day one, and they continue to support us at the 3.0. Plus, this year we have people like Finance Belize, and we have,
BCCI, let's
yeah,
not forget BCCI. And we always have a soft spot for the people who supported
XTV
us.
that we're on.
XTV, of course, we can't forget XTV. We always have a soft spot in our hearts for the people who supported the first year because really no one knew any data or we had no idea what it was going to be like, but they took a chance on us. It was successful, and we're going to keep on going. And we are just so appreciative of our strategic partners and our sponsors.
So just to give a little history, me and Verlene, now we organize differently. Me and Verlene, we're doing the Civic Fellowship, and we do all these different discussions around issues that we think are important for Belizeans. So last year, Verlene joined us, right? And she was handling the panels. So Verlene, could you just tell us a little bit about the panels? Because through some of these interactions, policy and things actually developed, and you'll see one of them specifically 501pulse.com/summit, who is our app, our conference app this year. But go ahead, Verlene, just tell us about your work and development in this process.
Okay, so we're going to have on the first day 3 panels. So I'll go
Wait,
through
wait,
what
before you hit today, tell us about last year, what you did last.
Okay. All right, fine. So going down memory lane, last year, I believe we had, was it about 6 panels? I think, so 3 panels for the first day, 3 for the second day. I don't remember specifically the topics, in terms of like the um, the titles that we give each of the panels. But I do know that we touched several issues that the diaspora partners with people in Belize. And so we were able to go ahead and get a mix of people in
Medical,
Belize,
education.
education,
Health,
health,
youth.
youth. And so we were able to get a mix of people. We had professors from here in the States that are Belizean, and then we partnered with professors in UB. And that was a beautiful discussion around how can we partner and get better outcomes? How can they leverage what Belizeans here are doing and allow us as Belizeans that are away from home to contribute to education in Belize? And I know that several initiatives came out of that. We have professors from, I know Dr. Usher from Ohio State is currently in Belize. Well, actually, he was in Belize doing a sabbatical and did a lot of stuff with UB. So looking to hear some outcomes from that. I know that Dr. Williams also went ahead and did a speaking series in Belize, and that was live streamed. So that was fruitful. And then there's several projects that they're doing that came out of that discussion. From the medical standpoint, there's been some partnerships with the different medical facilities in Belize. The donations continue. We were looking to be able to clear up some of the challenges when it comes to the big, large donations going to Belize. You know, when you have medical equipment that we can send from here, how do we facilitate and make that an easier transition? Still looking for more opportunities there to make that seamless. But a lot of good things came out of those discussions. The youth panel was a particular favorite of a lot of people, because just hearing from young people and the ones that are here that may be studying and are considering returning, or maybe considering relocating, but wanting to stay connected and wanting to continue to contribute to Belize. So those discussions are always fun. So we're bringing back the youth panel because, like I said, it's a favorite. And so this year we have Destiny Wagner as a moderator. She was the moderator last year. She did an excellent job. I'm so impressed with her. And we have panelists that would be Ashley Langford. We have Alan Pollard. We have Yulid Miller. We have Salima Barrow. And so this panel should give young Belizeans whether they're in Belize or in the diaspora, a voice and a space to be able to speak openly about the challenges and opportunities that are shaping this next generation of Belizeans. So that should be exciting. We'll have a digital transformation panel, and Dr. Dorian Arnold will be the moderator for that. We have Moshe Smith from Digi, and Digi has partnered with us to be or streaming for the events, and so we're grateful to them. They'll be on the panel. We'll have Reese Petir, who does the 501 Pulse, and some exciting ways to digitize this summit and make it interactive. So the app will be launched in terms of like the new features on there. So looking forward to hear more from that and seeing how others can use it when they have summits and in other ways. We have Tirza Gabriel that will be on the panel as well. And she does cybersecurity. So just a full rounded conversation framed around digital readiness for economic growth and the risks, cybersecurity risks, talking through that, and then whatever infrastructure gaps that might affect or economic growth, that will be ventilated in that conversation. So the outcome really will be an exchange of knowledge, and then any support that the diaspora can give to secure economic growth in Belize. And then a very special discussion. The first panel is the Diaspora Nation Building panel. So Nuri is going to moderate that one. And on that panel, we have Dr. Williams, we have Margaret Usher, we have Opal Enriquez, we have Ambassador Murphy, we have Honorable Karim Musa, and Darrell Bradley. And I think that this conversation will set the tone for the summit, right? It's going to talk about moving the diaspora conversation forward, which is what we aim to do, right? And there is an emotional connection in terms of this discussion for us, because this really, like I said, sets the stage. And
One
what we
second,
want to do
before,
with this discussion.
one sec, I'll let Rishma jump in just a little sec to talk about the policy paper that we are working on for the Belize Diaspora Summit. That's going to
Go
really,
ahead, Rishma.
yeah.
Sure. So one of the things that we wanted to present this year that we have had discussions on is presenting a suggestion via a policy paper. Now, we have different categories, and you might have to help me with this. There is the economic development category, the legal integration policy, I know there's a health part, there's arts and culture, I believe, Verlene. Am I
Yes.
forgetting any one of the categories? Oh, technology. There's a technology section as well. So we've done subcategories of how we believe that the diaspora can contribute to Belize, and we are suggesting ways in which Belize can integrate the help of the diaspora. So we're putting together a policy paper that we're going to be introducing at the summit and just presenting some ideas that we would like to push forward in the way that both Belizeans living abroad and Belizeans living at home can come together to build a nation.
And then there's 3 days. You mentioned there's 3 days of events. Berlin went through day one panels, but it's not only day one. We actually have 2 days of panels. But just to quickly go over the different events that we're having, could you kind of highlight, and then Berlin can talk about day two panels. But for day one, could you highlight outside of the panels, what else is happening at the summit?
Is that for me or Verlene?
You could do it, and then Berlin could talk about day two panels.
Okay, so big picture, it's 3 days, July 23rd, July 24th, and July 25th. So we're looking at a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday. So Thursday is going to be the panel discussion day and the panels that Verlene had mentioned before. In that afternoon on Thursday, we're going to have an informal reception that's sponsored by one of our sponsors, and we'll put the name in our social media. That's day one. Day two, we're having a business day. And on the business day, we're going to have.
I just want to retract, because we're doing also the marketplace at the summit. We're doing
Oh,
the,
okay.
yeah.
Got you. The whole rundown. So we have the panel discussions. We have a marketplace, which is where our sponsors and vendors can display their products. We also have government clinics. We have
Kitty corner.
kitty corners, and we're doing something different this year called the Summit Passport. It's a very we're trying to integrate some sort of technology within our summit this year. And the Summit Passport would be something that you would be using on your phone. Then you would be able to go to different areas within the summit and have that area, visit that area. And when you're done with certain visitations to different things, you get a prize. You show us and you get a prize. So it's a very good way of being able to make sure you get the most out of your visit to the summit. So
And to get the digital passport, you need to just go to 501pulse.com/summit. And you should be able to access the summit.
Right. And then we'll have all that information too on our social media account. So if you're on Facebook, our page is called Belize Diaspora Summit. If you're on Instagram, our page is called Belize Diaspora Summit. So if you follow either one of them, we go ahead and we post the different links that you can download. And then we're also going to be able to post ways to pay for the tickets and stuff like that.
And the website is www.belizediasporasummit.com. So everything is Belize Diaspora Summit. So please check it out. And then day one, and what's happening on day two?
So day two is our business day. So in the morning, we're going to have panel discussions. The first panel is going to be talking about economic development, scaling and investment. Second panel is going to be talking about finance and banking and access to capital. And then the third panel is going to be, do we have a third? Yes, we have a third panel that day, or that's just the business mixer?
No, it's a business.
That's the business mixer.
Okay, thank you. Verlene is in charge of panels, you guys.
So, Pauline, let's tell us a little bit about day 2 panels. What's happening there?
Okay. So like Rishma said, the first panel is creating a in the Caribbean. And so on that panel, we actually will have Kamal Samaru, who is doing big things in Guyana, will be on that panel. We'll have Clarence Halls on the panel. He's coming in from, I know it's just outside of Chicago, okay, Indiana. And we have Jonathan Lohr, he's in Belize. And the goal of that is to define what workable investment environment looks like, right?
Let's not forget Brian Wesley Curtin.
Yes.
Okay, yes. And
the CEO of the World Trade Center in Guyana.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so that discussion is about the wider Caribbean, right? And in that panel, we're looking to name what's getting in our way, right? And so it won't just have a Belize focus; it has a regional focus, because you know you said Brian, I'm forgetting the last name,
Wesley Curtin.
Okay. And so that insight is going to be wonderful. The second panel is access to finance and capital for business development. And our moderator there is Hiro Balani. And we'll have the central bank on there. So Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Leticia Murillo. We'll have Mario Lara from DFC on there. And so this discussion really will focus on giving entrepreneurs and business owners a clear view of financing pathways that are available, right?
Because it's so difficult for Belizeans who are coming in to borrow money. And
even banking in general, being able to open a bank account or operate a bank account as a member of the diaspora can be a little bit difficult. So I'm very much looking forward to that panel discussion.
Yeah, so yeah, looking to demystify, right? And connect people to the real next steps. So people who are looking to invest and want to transition. There are a lot of people that want to transition from Belize back home, and this information will be where their ears will perk up, right? So very excited about that.
Wonderful. And then day 3, we have.
We're not done with day 2, and I think we missed something from day 1, the fire hot discussion.
Yes.
Thank you for
the fire hot
flyer.
Yes.
Fire hot discussion is about, again, incorporating some sort of not policy, but policy and discussion about how regionally the diaspora can help building the nation at home. So again, on that fire hot discussion, we have Mr. Samaru, Mr. Curtin, and we have Dr. Andrew Trumbach as well, because this summit is the first summit where we brought in regional experts, because it's very important that as we're building a nation, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of Caribbean countries out there who have already done or have been several steps ahead of us. So I don't think that it's a bad idea, and we didn't think it was a bad idea to actually try to incorporate that regionalness, because at the end of the day, we want to build our entire Caribbean community as well, Belizeans and the Caribbean community. So
I need to add specifically Guyana. Guyana has one of the largest diaspora in the world. I think China, of course, United States, but when it comes to the Caribbean, they have a lot of people from the diaspora. Their citizens are living abroad. and their government actually has a policy that calls their diaspora to come home to start investing and to start working and opening businesses in Guyana. We had the opportunity to visit last year, and that's how we were introduced to Mr. Samaru. And of course, Rishma is Guyanese also, and
Yes.
she introduced us to Wesley, who is the CEO of the World Trade in Guyana. It was the opening of that World Trade. And big shout out to the ambassador, Belize ambassador, because
Right.
she was amazing. She really laid out the red carpet for us and introduced us to so many different people there. Gail, um, that was,
Miller.
yeah, that was amazing, and it shows you like when like-minded people get together, they have the ability to make substantial changes. And so it was really a very good experience to go to Guyana and listen to them because they had us in a meeting and listen to them talk about even to do business in Guyana. Every business has to involve a Guyanese. A
Mhm.
Guyanese has to be involved in every single business, which I thought that's a way to protect your country ultimately. But
And just even the ease of doing business there, they've introduced many years ago a hub system so that if you're interested in opening a business, you go to this hub and they're the ones that guide you on getting in contact with like the registry or how to do the banking, or it's just someone there to guide you instead of just being completely lost, as I feel like maybe the ease of doing business in Belize is not.
well, I will say though that we do have Beltrade, which is focused on businesses that they do help people navigate the system. But
Okay.
I think we need that alignment also for all Belizeans, period.
Yeah.
Um, at home and abroad, if I am in Belize and I want to figure out a way to start a business, I think it would be beneficial for everybody to have that type of
Right.
networking. But outside of that, let's jump to what's happening on day two. What else is happening on
Right.
day
So
two?
after the panel discussions, we're having a business mixer. And during that mixer, it's a way again to just be able to network, enjoy a little bit of refreshments. And then also we have business highlights and pitches during the mixer. So we have an opportunity for our sponsors and our strategic partners to be able to address the crowd that's there, bless you, address the crowd that's there and be able to do sort of like an elevator pitch of their business, considering that the event is being live streamed. I think that's very beneficial for our sponsors. When that is over, about 3 or 4-ish, in the evening of Friday evening, we're having an event called Savor Belize, and we're having it at the Bliss Institute. And Verlene, do you want to talk about Savor Belize?
Yeah, sure. I can take it from there. But I want to circle back on the Fire Heart chat because I think it is a special treat that we'll have Candice Gibson actually moderate that. And so he was at the summit last year. He did his book reading, Five Trips, and it was a wonderful time. A wonderful time was had
Yes.
with Candice. And it felt, like homecoming. That whole session felt like a family reunion, right? And so to actually, have him go to Belize and participate is going to be nice. And so at the Bliss, uh, you can go ahead and picture just as you enter a number of things happening simultaneously, right? So painting, music, dancing, people with their books displayed. Candice may have his five trips there. We have Kim Cook, who has written a book as well.
Come up with
Um,
hummingbird,
y-
something. Yeah,
Humming,
hummingbird
Hummingbird Highway.
Hummingbird, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. And we
Castile.
have Yowling. And so a number of different things as you enter, you'll be able to go ahead and spend at least maybe 30 minutes just browsing and vibing to all sorts of art forms. And then once you enter into the bliss, the show starts, and a lineup of just cultural explosion, right? Garifuna dancers and drumming. There is a Creole dance group. Um, we have a Mayan performance. And so just a cultural explosion. Don't want to give too much away, but just know that it will be very Belizean, right? And so it's a great time it's a great time to spend just really having an immersive experience with the different cultural events. So that's what happens at the Bliss on the second night.
Right. And the third day, we're calling our wellness day, which is Saturday. And we're starting our morning, or some of us are starting our morning with a 5K run of the Belize Cancer Society. After that, we're going to have Belize
Pilates.
Pilates hosted by Destiny Wagner. And then after that, we're having a mindfulness session. And then
With
there's
Jerry Enriquez.
January Enriquez, thank you. Then there's a break.
Well, we
And
have our tour company. We have Creole Boys that
Mhm.
will be offering tours. So if you're in Belize and you want to take your family to go to a tour, you have Adventurous Creole Boys tours that will be offering 2 tour packages.
For the
Um,
summit,
for
specifically curated for the summit. So we have a little bit of a break, and then that evening we're having our big gala, our Savor Belize gala. And that is going to be what is the name of the band that is playing?
Kenny Morgan.
That's what I can
Yes,
I'll tell you.
Kenny Morgan.
That's what
Yes.
it's called. Okay, Kenny Morgan. We will also have food, refreshments, drinks, rum. It's gonna be a fun time.
So
Yeah,
thank
and the
you.
gala closes off the event.
And that's it.
Yep.
Then you can rest after 3 days of excitement and fun.
It's also a great opportunity for Belizeans to connect with each other. And it's a great opportunity if you're a small business and you need to connect with somebody in Chicago, Florida. Maybe you want your business to come over this side, or maybe somebody in the diaspora wants to do some sort of business with Belizeans at home, or just bring awareness to your business or your issues. The great thing is we are trying to design it in a way that everybody can benefit from it. If you're at home or you're abroad, this is the opportunity for people to connect. The diaspora Belizeans are very much, if you go to any diaspora event in the US, it's Belize, Belize, Belize. People know even why he had no reggae music. All when they why he had a broke down and punta. So ways that these are some of the ways that we bring the diaspora home, and we create an environment where we are in a market of diversity, diverse ideas, diverse skills. Sometimes I don't think we appreciate the scale of Belizeans living in different parts of the US, whether it's small business, whether they're working in the medical field,
Yeah,
some
just the
people are CAs,
professionalism.
they
Yeah,
have
just the diversity of the professions as we're putting together the marketplace and the panels, we're realizing how much I don't think there's a profession in the world that there's not a Belizean or a Belizean in a diaspora not doing that. And we really need to highlight our own and highlight how to build our nation, which is why the policy paper becomes important, and then having these types of events become important too.
indeed. And I do want to say that again, thank you for our sponsors, because this is very labor intensive, and it's a lot of work that's put into it. And our sponsors have believed in our vision for several years now. And it goes without saying that we need to continue giving them the attention and praises, because they believe they've done business with the diaspora themselves. They understand the importance of connecting Belizeans. And we're in a new political environment. You see that a lot of countries around the world are becoming more, they're starting to close off from this globalization. There's a subtle rejection. And so a lot of people are now calling back their diaspora. I don't know if people realize China right now, China is actively trying to recruit back all their Chinese talent and American doctors right now. So there's this belief that, okay, you guys have gone out there, you've learned everything, it's time to bring it back home. And I think Belize is Belize is on the cusp. We have so many talented Belizeans, and if we can let go of our divisiveness and find what makes us common, like what's common amongst us all, I honestly believe that we are going to be just an amazing country. We have amazing people, and it's inevitable that that energy is going to pass on when we come in. We hope that's the energy that we bring, that energy of connectivity and connections. Now, do you ladies have any final words or anything that you want to say?
I just want to add that on the flip side of that too, Aria, it's not only that the the country is calling back its diaspora, the diaspora wants to go back to Belize. So and you talk about divisive political societies. Right now, there's a lot of people who are just trying to find another way of life outside I want to say, especially in the US, people are just looking to have a simpler life, a more inclusive life, a more feeling accepted. And a lot of people are trying to go home again. If you haven't already set up some sort of maybe retirement plan to go back to Belize, and almost every Belizean I meet wants to go back to Belize to retire. So it's the opposite way as well. The Belizeans living abroad are looking for that sort of homecoming. Um, and I guess the final thing I want to add is that to keep updated, we're still putting the programming together. We have most of it done, but there are going to be tweaks here and there. And the best way to keep updated on the programming, what's going on every day, and how to pay for some of the ticketed events is to please just follow us on our social media accounts, because that will be updated. So again, on Facebook, it's Belize Diaspora Summit. On Instagram, it's at Belize Diaspora Summit. And then our website is BelizeDiasporaSummit.com. So all the information is going to be there. Make sure you follow us, and then you'll have all the ways to see what's happening for the 3 days and pay for the ticketed events, and see some of our on the website. It has the bios of our panelists. So it's just a way to be able to make sure that you're in the know when it comes to the summit.
And don't forget 501pulse.com/summit. Verlene?
So I'll say, this July, something powerful will be happening in Belize, and that's the summit, right? And when Belizeans descend on Belize, there's a lot of connections that can happen. So I would just encourage people to definitely attend, people at home, people who are here, fly in. If you're flying in for the summer, make sure you attend this event. I think that you will connect in ways that matter, right? I think the 501 Pulse app is really going to be a powerful way for us to network as Belizeans. And I think that everything that we've mentioned, the entire lineup, from the panels to the clinics to do passport, to do land transactions, to do a number of different things, whether it is to initiate it because vital statistics will be there. So you might not be able to get actually like every single thing done, but you can get information on how to do the different transactions that you might need to do. And so everything's going to be under one roof for you to be able to have access to all of this. And then, of course, it's always a fun time when Belizeans get together. So from the panel discussions of talking about things that move the country forward, to the last event as far as the gala is going to be wonderful, and relationships will be built and continue to be built as we try to build the nation together, whether we're in Belize or outside of Belize.
Thank you, ladies, for coming on. And again, thank you to our sponsors, which is the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations. They have been one of our biggest supporters. We have Finance Belize, we have Digi, Sabre Realty, we have Niche, who is giving us the opportunity to use the Bliss and their facilities. And we have a lot of small sponsors also.
BCCI.
BCCI, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, definitely. And yeah, please check out our pages and you'll see the different events happening. We're excited. It's less than a month now. Well, I'm always excited just to be in Belize, so that's my point of excitement. So with that being said, we're just going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back with my guests from Garfuna Flavors in Chicago. So take care.
Ooh, I'm jealous. I want a DoorDash for it.
The Diaspora Relations Unit within the Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports, and Diaspora Relations serves as the vital link between Belizeans living abroad and the government of Belize. As a unit, we strengthen relationships, encourage engagement, ensure that Belizeans around the world remain connected to their homeland, and make sure that wherever you are, Belize still feels like home. Another major initiative managed by the unit is the Diaspora Returnee Incentive Program, DRIP. This program was established to attract Belizeans in the diaspora who are considering repatriation. Through the program, eligible returnees are entitled to import household and personal effects, tools of trade, and a personal transportation free of import duties and taxes. It's our way of saying, welcome home, and making your transition back to Belize as smooth as possible. Another important aspect of the unit's work is the coordination and distribution of in-kind donations from the Belizean diaspora and friends abroad. As a unit, we organize and host diaspora meetings with large Belizean communities. These in-person gatherings allow for open dialogue, information sharing, and collaboration between the government and its citizens overseas. Through these interactions, Belizeans abroad are informed of national initiatives and can share their perspectives, ideas, and contributions towards national growth. We also attend events held by the diaspora to continue meaningful dialogues, share updates, hear ideas and inquiries, allowing us to keep the Belizean bond strong. Visit our website to access our chat feature. It allows Belizeans abroad to connect with our team directly for any inquiries or support. We encourage all Belizeans living abroad to sign up to our registry. This will help us keep you informed about initiatives, events, and opportunities to engage with your home country. The Diaspora Relations Unit, serving Belizeans, strengthening connections, and building a bridge between the world and home.
I am a true born Belizean. I am proud to be a Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. You're bonded, you're bonded. Tell them that we bonded. You're bonded, you're bonded. I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we bonded. a Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we bonded. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we bonded. I am proud to be a Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we bonded. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we bonded. I am proud to be a Belizean. Tell them that we bonded.
The Diaspora Relations Unit within the Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports, and Diaspora Relations serves as the vital link between Belizeans living abroad and the government of Belize. As a unit, we strengthen relationships, encourage engagement, ensure that Belizeans around the world remain connected to their homeland, and make sure that wherever you are, Belize still feels like home. Another major initiative managed by the unit is the Diaspora Returnee Incentive Program, DRIP. This program was established to attract Belizeans in the diaspora who are considering repatriation. Through the program, eligible returnees are entitled to import household and personal effects, tools of trade, and a personal transportation free of import duties and taxes. It's our way of saying, welcome home, and making your transition back to Belize as smooth as possible. Another important aspect of the unit's work is the coordination and distribution of in-kind donations from the Belizean diaspora and friends abroad. As a unit, we organize and host diaspora meetings with large Belizean communities. These in-person gatherings allow for open dialogue, information sharing, and collaboration between the government and its citizens overseas. Through these interactions, Belizeans abroad are informed of national initiatives and can share their perspectives, ideas, and contributions towards national growth. We also attend events held by the diaspora to continue meaningful dialogues, share updates, hear ideas and inquiries, allowing us to keep the Belizean bond strong. Visit our website to access our chat feature. It allows Belizeans abroad to connect with our team directly for any inquiries or support. We encourage all Belizeans living abroad to sign up to our registry. This will help us keep you informed about initiatives, events, and opportunities to engage with your home country. The Diaspora Relations Unit, serving Belizeans, strengthening connections, and building a bridge between the world and home.
I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we bonded. I want you to bonded, yo bonded. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we bonded. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we bonded. I am proud to be a Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we bonded. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we bonded. I am proud to be a Belizean. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded. Tell them that we bonded. Yo bonded, yo bonded.
Hey, welcome back. We just had Rishma Eckert and we had Verlene Pitts that were talking about the Belize Diaspora Summit 3.0 that is going to be in Belize City July 23rd, 24th, 25th. And now I'm back with my guest, Mr. Castillo, Rodel Castillo, who is more than just Garfuna Flavors in Chicago. He is involved in a lot of community efforts. He is a teacher or was a teacher, and he has a very exciting background, a co-founder of the Progressive Garifuna Alliance. He created a platform to preserve and promote Garifuna culture worldwide. And just a little bit about Garifuna flavors, right? Garifuna flavors have been featured on the Food Network in the United States. Recently, they got honored by the White Sox in Chicago. And my most exciting thing is because I finally visited it. I visited this weekend. And I just think that, again, Belizeans are doing amazing things and we need to highlight them. So, said, welcome, Mr. Castillo. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am doing great.
I am so excited that you're here because you guys are movers and shakers in the Chicago area. But before we get into that, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and growing up in Belize? Because you grew up in Belize and you mentioned growing up in the Dangriga, Toledo, and Hopkins area. So tell us a little bit about growing up in Belize.
Well, born in Dangriga, um, so many moons ago. Of course, educated um, in the Hopkins, Dangriga, Stann Creek area. Eventually ended up in Belize City, attending Belize Teachers College, uh, but also did some teaching at Independence, Mango Creek, and in Roaring Creek while I was, again, I lived in Belmopan for a little while.
And that's my hometown, Belmopan. Um,
Okay.
what was it like growing up in the South when you were growing up at your time and attending school in Hopkins?
Vibrant, full of culture. I grew up in between Hopkins and Dangriga. It was the mecca of my culture. So, being enmeshed in the spirit of my people and their ancestors. I mean, it was the most beautiful town. That's where knowledge and culture is transmitted from the elders to the young ones. So I grew up in an environment that I learned and I got to know who I really was or I am at this point now.
And at some point, what were you teaching? You said you went to teachers college. What years, what schools were you teaching at?
Well, I taught in Mango Creek Elementary School, Anglican school, and I also taught in Roaring Creek Catholic school. So, general subjects. Yeah, so those were two of the places that I taught for between college and being a teacher. This was like a 6 year span of time.
And at some point, you decided that you were going to move to the United States. What age did you move, and what does that move like? Like, how did that? Why did you move from Belize, and how was that move like?
At that time, the highest level of education in Belize at that time was teachers college. That was the tertiary level institution, and I wanted to go further, and nowhere in Belize were there any university level, so to speak. So I wanted to further my education and seek other opportunities outside of working within the government and being a policeman or a military person or a teacher. There weren't too many opportunities available at that time. Mind you, this was like sometime around early 1980, 80, 85, 86. during those times. So after I graduated from Teachers College, the only thing I was going to do was continue teaching. But I wanted to further my education, and there was no opportunity for me to do that at that time.
So when you first migrated, where did you migrate to? Was it Chicago?
Um, a brief stint in California, San Diego to be exact, and 3 months later, I came to Chicago. My significant other, my wife was already here, so I had to come and join, reunite, so October of 1986 is when I actually came to Chicago.
And what was that experience like coming from Belize as an adult? You know, I know a lot of people come on the show and talk about the culture shock. What was it like when you moved to the US in the 80s?
It was a culture shock,
In
and
what way? Tell
and
us a little bit.
everyone, wait, coming from a village of, at that time, Hopkins Village was about 900 to 1,000 people.
Oh, wow.
You know, um,
Everybody know everybody.
Dangriga, Dangriga was uh, Dangriga was about what 25 to 30,000 people. So coming to Chicago, which was about 3.5 to 4 million people, it was insane. It was crazy. But over a period of time, you begin to adapt, and the worst part for me was when I got here, the temperature was cold. That was in October.
Oh, you landed in winter.
It,
Or
it
no,
was it was freezing. It was freezing. I may feel like I buy one winter coat the San Diego, but when I got here, that thing never done nothing to me. It was like a spring jacket.
this is my first year in Chicago, and I'm already over this weather because it's still not reached summer yet. So
Yes,
tell us
yes.
about like you were a teacher. How did you get into owning like this prominent restaurant in Chicago that's now so iconic that the Chicago community have now kind of honored you guys as one of the leading restaurants in Chicago. And recently with the White
Well,
Sox honoring you guys as a landmark, area in Chicago. How did you get into the restaurant business?
well, to be honest with you, my wife loves to entertain people, and over the years while we were living here, we she would always invite people over and do her thing, do her cooking, and everybody would come over and we all celebrate and enjoy. And and so one day I told her, listen, I'm gonna open a restaurant so you can feed as many people as you can,
Stop bringing that
because you do
up.
have because you do have, you know, I recognized her skills, and I said, okay, we're gonna help make this happen. So eventually we decided to uh, purchase a couple of buildings to so that it can house the business. And in 1980, 80, what year was that? In 2008,
Oh, wow.
we eventually um, got everything together, got our licenses, do all the necessary inspections, necessary build out, and so here we are. So 2008, June 1st, actually May 31st,
Well, happy birthday
bringing
or
in
happy
June 1st,
anniversary.
was right, right. That was 18 years ago. So we're still here.
Yeah, an adult 18 years old.
Yes, yes,
But
yes,
one
yes,
day, I
definitely.
said when I went there, I just think that your wife is amazing. She was very welcoming. I could see definitely that she definitely was an entertainer because she was checking on everyone and stuff. Great teamwork. What are some of your challenges like that you face as an owner of a restaurant, especially because I saw something with the pandemic, right? And you
Oh
know
yeah,
the economy goes up and down. Like, give
oh
us some
yeah.
of your challenges and how were you first received when you opened up?
Well, the first time we got here, we were the challenge to us was you know we happened to find ourselves in a particular neighborhood that were not so desirable for a lot of people. That was our biggest challenge.
Okay,
Now, I know that a couple of years shortly after we got into the business, and I realized, you know, okay, therefore, we were kind of naive in the sense that we didn't look at other factors before we decided on a location. But it goes both ways because with this location where we are, we're the only kind or only type of restaurant of this nature.
right.
So, which drew a lot of attention to us, and so it was kind of a blessing in disguise, so to speak, because you can go for miles and miles around here. We're the only Caribbean, Belizean, Garifuna restaurant in this area, and so that became an attraction for a lot of people all the way from the north side of Chicago, south side, east side, west side, even not only that from the Chicago suburbs. They all come looking for this restaurant, and the fact that Belize has been put on the map by this tourist industry um, gives us an additional edge also because when they hear it's a Belizean restaurant, oh, let's go there and taste the food before we go to Belize. So we do find a lot of that happen.
And what about the Garifuna community? Because you know, Honduras, I think there's a Garifuna restaurant in Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. Do you get Garifuna from different countries also coming in to taste the food? Are they surprised by the?
Oh yeah, well, of course. The originals from Honduras, from Nicaragua, from Guatemala, of course, have all come through Garifuna flavor. Once they get to Chicago, they come and seek us out, and of course, we break into a language and start talking and greet each other and make it happen. So we do have um, Garifunas from whenever they come to Chicago and they know about us, they do stop it. A lot of Garifunas from New York comes to Chicago. A lot
Right.
of Garifunas from California, from you know Garifunas who come to Chicago and have heard about us, make it a point to stop in and see us.
Nice. And I think it's iconic in the sense that Chicago stands out. Chicago and California, I would say, stand out as the only two cities I think, maybe not anymore, but at least back in the day, the only cities that had Belizean restaurants, right? Because that's always the thing with the Belize diaspora. You know, we are looking for panades, which I not got. And
Right, right.
we look for like Belizean food and hudut and rice and beans and everything. You guys do it all. But what I
Yes, we
thought
do.
was amazing, by the way, and I was joking with my friend, is that DoorDash, you guys can DoorDash got a phone a restaurant. So for the Belizeans listening in on the DoorDash, Hudut, the Chicago,
Oh
unheard of
yeah,
anywhere,
oh
unheard of
yeah.
anywhere.
We we do DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. I mean, we
Right.
have their tablets at our place, and people order, and it comes to us, and we get it ready, and they come pick up, and that's pretty much it.
And listen, that to
You
me is the
know.
sell. That's that is the sell that you don't have to go pick up anything. You could DoorDash, Hudut, that I doesn't make no Belize no. And I could DoorDash, rice and beans and Hudut. That's unheard of. I don't
Okay.
think any other city I get that besides Chicago.
You know, listen, this could be an opportunity in Belize for a lot of people to create their own app and start a business like this, you
Well,
know,
Chosen, I
that
see that in Belize, they started a delivery app where they can
okay,
start
beautiful,
delivering.
beautiful, beautiful. And, you know, and with this process, you know, they don't come to us and pay us. They don't pay us. All that transaction is done in the back office. You don't get paid by the customers when they come and pick up. As a matter of fact, the people who come pick up are employed by the owners of these apps to deliver the food to the people who use their platforms.
I might have to cater you guys one day for my office because I think uh, Chicago is such a big foodie city and people just like trying new things. And I think that because we have such a high Mexican population here in Chicago, there are some similarities, especially with the corn-based meals, that I think that is transferable to other cultures. But I still remember the first time I hear about Garifuna flavors, because I lived in Florida many years. This is my first year in Chicago. I heard about you guys on the off of the Food Network, right? Because
Yes.
I consume everything Belize. So I thought it was hilarious. And I told
Uh-huh.
her wife that when I saw her. What's the guy's name from the Food Network that went there?
Guy Fieri,
The guy Pierre.
Fieri,
I
Fieri, Guy Fieri,
Pierre. I don't even.
Fieri.
But
Yeah,
when he went there, to me, that almost like he sell that for no because that like a hand in a one thing to eat, and then it and that like a whole mouth full up, and it still the dig for more thing while the wife did it. I don't know that to me that be the most hilarious thing I see. And I like, man, for the food was really good because I like my boy in the eat the stuff him out while he still try put a hand in other things.
man
So what
enjoyed it. He enjoyed it.
so how did y'all connect with him?
You know, somebody um wrote this, I think they call it page production, about the restaurant, and they wrote us and asked us if we would like to be featured on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives with this guy. And I had never seen it before, and so we looked into it, and we're like, oh yeah, why not? You know, and uh, and that's where it began, and all the work behind the scenes. Eventually, they showed up, and you know, it was actually they did 36 hours of shooting
Oh
at
wow.
location, and it was condensed to about what 12 minutes of network time.
Well, I must say
Yeah,
cut with all his eating in a one shot because my boy just made it stuff him out during the
yeah.
whole
And the
time.
impress and the impressive part about it was that we could have never afforded that kind of
Advertising.
advertisement.
What?
Yes,
So I guess
because
people just showed up, huh?
yeah, because the value of what we got from the Food Network would have cost us 1.2, 1.3 million dollars, and the only thing we had to pay was with the food. Food.
Right.
You just had to open the restaurant and people came in and they sat and they ate, and that's all we had
And
to do,
and
which was
he
worth
ate.
it for us.
So tell us also about some of the awards that the Garfuna flavors have won in Chicago.
Well, one of our biggest awards was at the Taste of Chicago. The Taste of
Oh,
Chicago is an annual event that um, attracts uh, about 6 to 8 million people, visitors. Food,
wow.
yes.
I think
So
is it in summer? I think last year they had it right at Grant Park. Is that like one of the
exactly. What you saw
I
was on
went
a
last
small
year.
scale. What you
Okay.
saw last year was on a small scale.
Oh
Prior to
wow.
the pandemic, you had about 6 to 8 million people walking through Grand Park with about 100 plus restaurants lined up on the street.
I
Um,
scared at it with
um,
the crowds.
yeah, so out of 100 restaurants, Garifuna flavor was chosen the best in 2019 out of 100 restaurants. So
Listen,
I
that's
mean,
I just want people to understand who is not from Chicago. I have never seen so many different cultural restaurants in a one space, right? That was a big deal for make you win out of because when I see it last year, I mean like food on steroids. So that
oh
says
yeah,
a lot about what you guys are doing out there.
yes,
And that's amazing that you're
definitely,
Belizeans and you're doing this, right? And I feel like you're doing it quietly, even though it's a big deal and it's getting the news out there because you've been featured by the consulate in Belize. I feel
correct.
like that, like, still it's quiet. I don't know why. I feel like it's not celebrated enough that we have Belizeans that are just doing amazing things and quiet. Because when I walked in, honestly, for see you and your wife, they run that restaurant, and your wife is so welcoming and stuff. I think that may an extremely awesome experience, to be honest. And then to see that
Thank
you
you.
have this type of recognition, and maybe we don't talk about it enough, but I thought that was cool when I went in there to see that you guys are doing this between you guys, you and your wife. But I do want to tell us about other things that your restaurant has done, because your wife was telling me that you guys also do a lot of catering for like the different places that are maybe some of the political parties, some of the different events
Yes,
that are going on.
right. Yes, we do. I mean, um, we we do a lot of catering to a couple movie sets in Chicago. We also do catering to the universities, colleges here. We were one of the caterers to the inauguration of the mayor of Chicago. We were one of the caterers who were there.
Awesome.
So we kind of featured
You're kind of a big
on many
deal.
many of.
You're kind of a big deal. I just want to say. Maybe I don't
Thank
want to
thank
say it, but you are. And I just want to read the list because it said that you guys have been featured on the Food Network, which we talked about, Drive-ins and Dives, ABC's Hungry Hound, Win the City Live, WTTW Check, WGN Chicago's Best, The Taste of Chicago, that, and you've been recognized as Yelp, one of the best Caribbean restaurants. So that's a big deal. That's not nothing small. That's 18 years of hard work, right? And
definitely
we have
definitely.
like 15 minutes, and I really want to talk to you also about outside of being a very successful business person within the restaurant environment. You also became like you're big on Garifuna history, language, and music. So tell us a little bit about that part of the advocacy that you're involved with.
Well, somehow we at this establishment, if you walk around, you see something different, images of our culture, Garifuna culture to be exact. And everyone who walks in there notices that, okay, and it people begin to ask questions, you know. A lot of people who come here have never heard of Garifuna, have never heard of Belize. And so we get into the mode of teaching people and talking to people about Belizean cuisine, Belizean culture. Not only that, um, for years I did some. I was invited to do lecturing at Northeastern University, and there the students will come here to the restaurant,
Nice.
and then while they eat, we talk about Belize and Belizean culture, Garifuna spirituality, and all of those things. So for years I was doing that. So we've had students from elementary schools who come here to learn about the culture and the cuisine. So this became kind of a meeting, and there are so many teachable moments that we've experienced at this restaurant. So it's more than a restaurant. It's kind of a cultural
Community, right? It's
event.
a community.
Exactly.
Tell
Yes,
me
a
a little
cultural
bit about
community.
the Progressive Garifuna Alliance. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, co-founder of the Progressive Girlfriend Alliance, along with a brethren of mine, Michael Flores. Um, what we were doing was showcasing Garifuna culture throughout the city of Chicago. Not only showcase Garifuna music, arts, and dance, but we were also um, uh, appearing live on several television programs speaking about the challenges to Garifuna culture, history, and present day Garifuna in Chicago, and what we're doing to keep preserving the Garifuna culture.
So do you guys, it says you also produce music and
Yes. I'm also a musician, as a matter of fact. Um, my music is actually on the YouTube. Um, if you go on YouTube and you look for Rhodey, Rhodee Castillo, many of my music will pop up, and people could have a listen. Um,
okay.
there is some transition going on. Eventually, we'll be back in Belize at some point, and I'm actually working on a rehearsal studio in Belize for the time when I return.
Have you connected with Bilal? Because Bilal is actually compiling all the different Belizean music. And maybe that's a good opportunity that you guys can connect
Of
because
course,
maybe he's aware of the music. He might be, I don't know, but that's a
I
good
don't think.
opportunity for you guys to connect
Yeah,
on that.
I don't think we've connected. I don't think we've connected, but thanks for the reference.
Yeah, he's
We
my
certainly
co-host. He does the show
should.
like we do it off and on. And so
Hmm.
he's working on a music project with um, the guy Duran, I believe, and
Ivan,
they're trying to compile all these Belizean music, and great opportunity for you there because I think people might identify you with your restaurant and they might not be realizing that you have this multiple different channels of talent that you're actually doing, you know?
they will soon when the videos start coming out, music videos and appearances. They will begin to recognize there's a different dimension
Okay,
here. Pleasantly surprised, I may add.
awesome. I will give Bilal your contact if you don't mind.
Oh, of course, please do.
Yeah. And tell me if somebody wanted to learn about Garifuna culture in Chicago, where would they go? How do I learn the Garifuna culture, the language? We know you have the food and you have the community, but what is being done to preserve the language and culture here in Chicago?
Like I said, the restaurant has served as a meeting place for almost anything that is very clear. I mean,
Okay.
we can't host a big party that holds about 3, 4, 500 people. We can't do space.
Right.
But we've hosted several November 19th celebrations right here at our establishment. Um, and and kids come. I mean, we don't. It's not always being done late at night. We don't start late at night. We start early enough so that the kids can participate
Right.
in in the process of what we do, and that in itself is the process of preserving the culture.
So, like, what type of events you have for the 19th?
Well, I mean, we have um, traditional drumming and dancing, um, music, singing. Not only the adults but also the kids come dressed up in their traditional garb and practicing the dances, the different dances, the songs, and culminates on the 19th of November and showcasing what they've learned over the course of period of time.
Nice. Okay. And
You
if
know, plus
you, for example, sorry, go ahead.
plus plus you do find traditional cuisine also. You'll find the rasa with the pigtails and the hudut if you want that.
Well,
Of
you know,
course,
I want to
also
national hudud.
pastries, different kinds of pastries as a part of the offerings during the celebration.
Nice. And you've been doing this for 18 years.
Yes, we have.
That's amazing.
Yes, we have.
That's truly
Yeah,
amazing because, when last have you been to Belize?
I was there 3 weeks ago, a month
Okay.
ago.
Well, we're having the Belize Diaspora Summit in July. It would be great if you guys could come. You know what I mean? I think you are a good story for the Belize diaspora. You kind of highlight the reason why a lot of people did leave, in that they were limited with where they wanted to go at the time. The services or education wasn't available at the time. And I know that's changing now.
Right.
But back then, you're right. You didn't have that outlet to 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 reach your potential then,
Correct. Correct.
educationally, and I
Correct.
think a lot of people left based on that. But are you one of the Belizeans that could see yourself retiring in Belize one day?
Absolutely. No question.
Man, I think that would be like you would leave a void in the Chicago area if you would leave, because everything that you just mentioned, the fact that you are preserving the culture, you have the food, you're serving up as a community, and you're getting all these recognition. I think that would and I think sometimes that's the what prevents people from leaving, right? You set
Yeah,
deep
that's true.
roots, and then that, like, you're still connected to Belize, but then it's kind of difficult to uproot yourself in that
Well,
state.
you know, you hope that over the years, you've influenced and you um, prodded and you mentored so many people that they can step up and take the mantle and do what they saw and even go beyond what they saw.
Okay.
You know, that's what you hope for. And and I'm sure that over the years we've had people who stepped up um, to assist and to show and to move and to shape and show what what Garifuna Garifuna Dwo is all about. So there are going to be people who are going to step up and take it up.
So even with that in mind, if somebody is not Garifuna but want to learn more, learn the dance, the culture and stuff, are you open also to other communities that might want to come in and learn from you?
Of course, of course. Um, you know, Garifuna culture is not only to be celebrated by only Garifuna people. You know, you have friends and family and supporters who are other than Garifuna people. We're always excited to showcase our culture and for other people to be to celebrate with us at any given time.
Wonderful. And before we go, because we have like 3 more minutes, how did the White Sox, like how did you guys get honored by the Chicago White Sox?
Well, um, as a small business on the south side of Chicago, um, for some reason our name got into their hands and they contacted us. Hey, we've heard a lot about your business and we have supporters of your business, and we'd like to recognize you as a small business um, on the south side of Chicago, which is the White Sox is literally about a 15-minute drive. The stadium is about a 15-minute drive from here. So, so we were like, why not? But before I go, 2 years ago, a couple years ago, we were recognized by the Chicago Bears. We were also
Nice. Okay.
the Chicago Bears thing, yeah, about 2 years ago. So,
Oh, that the
um,
Obama Center. We
uh,
need to get Obama for Anna.
yeah, well, before when Obama was running for presidency, we hosted his team here at the
Oh,
Garifuna Flavor Restaurant. Yeah, we still have his logo here inside the restaurant that we hosted his
listen, if
leadership
he
team
ever
came
show up their
came through.
restaurant, if he ever show up their restaurant, you now have my WhatsApp. Wherever I am, I stop the way at the door and I will speed over there in a heartbeat.
I know, right?
I'm waiting to running to him. I'm like, where's Obama?
Yeah, yeah. The
So,
closest we've gotten to him was with
team.
his team. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we hosted we hosted a team for
Mr.
a day.
Castillo, thank you so much. It was great meeting you last week. I really enjoyed the restaurant. I love it felt very authentic. I really like that.
Thank
And
you.
I really enjoyed talking to your wife. Please give her my best.
I
And
will.
thank you very much for coming on the show, Belizeans in Chicago. You can DoorDash card, I call it a different name. You can DoorDash Garifuna flavors and get traditional Garifuna food. You could even get panades. You could DoorDash panades. Unheard
And
of in
Kung
any
Fu.
other city.
And
And
Kung
Kung
Fu.
Fu. Yes, and
Garnacha.
coconut tart, my favorite.
Coconut.
So, Mr. Castillo, do you have anything else to say before you leave?
Well, thank you for having me on your show tonight. I appreciate the opportunity, and we continue to represent Garifuna, represent Belize, and we've had our challenges over the years, but perseverance, persistence, um, and we're still here, and we will continue to represent in the most positive way. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Castillo. Thank you, XTV, for giving the Belize diaspora an opportunity to share with Belizeans at home. I do want to thank Harlan, who is our engineer in the background. We're coming to Belize July 23rd, 4th, and 5th for the Belize Diaspora Summit 3.0. And guys in Chicago, if you ever need food, Garfuna Flavors, it's just a warm environment, and I really love it. So thank you and have a good night.
I am a true born Belizean. Tell them that we born there. Belize my home, my native land. Tell them that we born there. I want you people to understand. Tell them that we born there. I am proud to be a Belizean.